Boom!
Ladies and gentlemen,
Thursday, Friday crew.
here at last.
We are in the building.
Oh my God. We have been planning this for months.
Months and months.
And, you know, at first everybody was a little skeptical.
They were doubting us.
There was some skepticism.
There was some doubting.
Hardcore doubt that we could pull it off.
That we had the lungs to do it.
Unbelievable.
Or the cojones to even do it.
Frankly, disrespectful.
Mad disrespect.
Of our talents and our strength of will. They wrote a song about that. 10% luck, 20%. The song was about us.
Then, but now.
Yes.
I mean, I have the will of Goku.
We're not even in our final forms.
Man, Blue Arc, nothing.
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 Just wait till you see what happens next.
Wait till this whole series of the Thursday, Friday crew.
This is just episode 1.
This is the Maiden Voyage.
Yes. I think that's going to be the title of the episode. The Maiden Voyage. I think so. I think that's it.
That works.
I think so.
I think that works.
Write it down. Oh, you don't have a pen. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, this is the Thursday, Friday crew. I am Chris, welcoming you. Joining me,
Lee, also known
Lee.
as Lonix on the streets.
Lonix on the streets. Is that the whole thing? You have to say the whole thing or nothing at
all? The whole thing is Lonix, King of Diamonds. But we can keep it just low to Lonix.
I am Christian, King of Quarter Pounders. That is my claim to fame.
Yes, because we did have that argument, the Quarter Pounder and the Whopper.
McDonald's hit me up with that collab.
The Whopper is by far the best sandwich, but we won't go into that today.
So this episode is going to be a lot of us getting our podcasting legs, because we got a camera over here, we've got a screen right here, and we got each other, and we're trying not to get lost in each other's eyes.
I mean, I just look in your eyes and just melt. I was thinking, I don't know if I can handle this.
I will tell you, this is the first time in my podcasting career I have been able to do a podcast in person with somebody. It has always been remote. Little shameless plug here. I have a different podcast. It's on a brief hiatus. It's Half Gen. We talk about video games and stuff. And I've been doing that for over 200 episodes.
Yep.
They've all been remote. They've all been recorded online. All that stuff. There is something, I can already feel it.
It's the energy.
There's something special about being in the room.
It's the energy. Like, that's all you got to say.
It's
like,
the energy.
Like, the shirts, Alf? What y'all know about Alf?
Come on.
Alf is in the building.
Back.
Alf is back.
He's back. He's right there.
And for all you people, Lewis, that don't know what Alf is, it's alien life form. That's what Alf stands for. Great 80s show. Oh, by the way, people, we do have our first in-location guest. We do have my daughter, a.k.a. Asia, also known as Zim in her gamer tag. Come here real fast.
The live studio audience.
The live studio audience. Give her. Woo! All right, now get out of here.
That's our producer. Yeah. That's our honorary producer for this episode.
Now get out of here. Stealing our shine.
That part's going to play really well on the audio version.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my gosh.
Oh, man.
But yeah, I mean, this whole podcast is built for us just to have fun and have fun with the viewers. You know, just come in and just talk about life. Anything that pops in our heads. That's the whole thing we're talking about. Good, bad, the ugly. If you are a little sensitive to language...
The podcast is listed explicit for a reason. You knew what you were getting into. You chose this life. You chose the Thursday, Friday life. And that is a responsible decision. I respect you for it. There's no backing out now.
No backing out.
Once you go Thursday, Friday, you don't go back.
Parents, aunts, uncles, hey, you know what you came in for. I don't want no hate emails
Hide your kids, hide your wife. They made a whole song about it.
Oh my gosh. So Christian,
Lee.
how was your day?
Pretty good. You
Yeah.
know, it is Valentine's Day as of this recording.
Because we start bringing out for love.
We're bringing out for love.
Bringing out for love. Oh,
This is going to play well.
For love. Okay, that's good.
It's going to play so well on the audio version. Every time we do something, we just held hands.
It was amazing.
It was a loving
little
embrace.
touching moment.
Yeah, I know, Frank.
You know.
It blows my mind, Lee, because realistically, I have known you, what, 6 months?
Yeah, about 6 months.
I didn't even know who Lee was. We work in the same place. We're not going to talk business.
Exactly.
We will talk work at different points, but we're not going to talk where we work. That's our job. Okay.
Yes, must protect.
This is our passion. That is our job.
100.
Our job fuels our passion.
100.
I have known Lee for just about 6 months, and I can tell you with 100% certainty there's nobody else I would rather be doing this podcast with on this planet.
100%. 100%. Like, me and Christian are the most opposite people, but the same person. It's the weirdest
literally
thing ever.
Like opposites attract.
Yes.
Like the first time I saw Lee, I was like, okay, he seems like a really professional. I'm like, is that a Dragon Ball Z shirt? And I'm like, okay, all right, this
You
guy
know what
seems like
time
a
it
okay.
was.
But he carried himself very professionally that first day, and I come to find out that that's just him trying to get a feel for everybody.
Right.
But once he got in there and he realized, oh, these people are fun.
Facts.
The walls came down, and I was just like, this dude,
Yes.
I like this dude.
Yes, it was like the Berlin Wall. Boom, just down.
Down.
East-West became Germany. That's all it was.
One Germany.
One German. Bruh. So let me tell you about my day.
Okay.
Bruh. So, I had the car appointment this morning, 8:30.
Yes.
Oil change. Just a damn oil change. Bruh. Why'd I get there, right? So he was like, can you leave the car there?
Why?
I was like, okay. You know what I'm saying? I was like, do you have a car for me? Normally they have a car for your boy, but they didn't have a car for your boy today. So I had to walk. I didn't take the hike like I was some Star Trek person. I had to go all the way back. I had to walk to the crib like I'm 16 years old. So I walked my butt all the way back to the crib, and I walked, and I live up a hill.
Oh my God.
Bruh, the hammies were on fire, right? So I get home.
I had to walk up this hill. You drove up
I drove-
this hill one time.
That's
I
a
had to
whole
walk
nother
up there. I
story.
said I would never do it again
Oh my
because I know
gosh.
exactly what you're talking
Bruh.
about.
Bruh.
My calves,
Everything.
they were burning,
On fire.
burning
Burning.
with the intense fire of 1,000 suns.
And we're not talking to red. We're talking to yellow sun like it's Superman.
Like Superman would get so much power from this, he'd be like, "Please stop! No one man should have all this power."
Oh, man, Superman. Speaking of that, we have to talk about the Flash. You see, oh my God,
Yes,
that trailer
yes,
was dope. But so I'm at home, right? Mm-hmm. Remember, audience, I dropped the car off at 8:30 this morning. It's freaking 1:30. I'm like, because the longer it goes, the more it's worse.
Is that why you told me you had an appointment at 1?
Yes. Yo. So I'm sitting there like, bruh, I know this is going to be all types of jacked up. So I call him, right? My man Dan, shout out to Dan. So I call him. I'm like, Dan, is there something you can tell me about the car? It's been about 4 hours, bruh.
For an oil change.
For an oil change. He was like, well, Mr. Belton, it looks like your transmission's going to go pretty soon. I was like, bruh, I just went in there for an oil change. Not for you to kill my life like this. Now you're telling me I got to get a new whip? Bruh, he was like, well, I don't know how long it'll last. I was like,
Long
man.
enough.
I was like, oh my God. He was like, well, I can get all the lights and everything off for you. I was like, who cares about the lights? Now I just got to get a new car. Highly upset. Highly upset. That was my morning, bruh. That's what I was dealing with.
Bro, that is terrible.
It's rough. But you know what?
See, but that's what that's why I always hear about the European cars, though.
Facts.
And
Facts.
it's the European cars, which is why I bought Korean.
That's work.
Bro, but they might as well be American
Yo.
at this point because they probably build them here more than
facts.
American cars
Bruh,
do.
I'm about to get me a Honda. I'm getting something like, I'll pay like $100 for anything that breaks. It'll be like $60.
Bro, like you either buy like a Honda, a Toyota, or a Hyundai
Yes.
/ Kia. You could buy the other brands
I
of
don't
them.
think I could ever buy a Kia. I'm not the Kia type of
You know
brother.
what? Kia, I was in love when it came out with the K5.
Okay.
I was in
Okay.
love with that car. Also, the Stinger.
The Stinger's dope.
The Stinger's dope
kinda
because
dope.
it's a muscle car
Yes.
with all-wheel drive.
Yes. But it's still a fucking Kia.
I get it, But remember, it's also Hyundai. They're the same company.
True.
So like,
Yeah.
you're kind of getting both. I could have saved like $2,000 or $3,000 getting the Kia version of my N-Line,
Right.
but
the N-Line's
did not
tough.
look as
No,
good
no.
as my N-Line. Dude, I
No,
finally got it
N-Line's
washed
tough.
and everything. Oh my
Tough.
God, it is crisp now. I
Tough.
love my car.
Might get a Nissan. Might get a Maxima.
You know what? I've heard, like, I know Nissan had like their bumps.
Yeah.
I think they're coming out the other side of that.
Yeah.
I think like
The
they're
Horizon
coming
is
out
good.
strong.
The Horizon is good. For
Let
a
us know.
Yeah.
If
Someone
you-
email us.
I don't have an email yet. I didn't set that up.
Oh, this guy.
You
Don't
can
worry.
email
On the next one, we will get that.
Tweet. You can tweet at me. I'm on Twitter at NightmareCV.
Nightmare merch.
Merch.
Shameless plugs.
Shameless plug. Every plug is shameless, but every
Yes.
plug is important
100%.
because every plug supports one of us. And you too can support. No.
And remember, every kiss begins with K. Shameless plug.
We are not sponsored.
Side note: we are not sponsored by K Jewelers at any. Not
Tall
yet.
glass of water.
Yes, and he's not talking about me,
I
ladies
was
and
talking
gentlemen.
about him.
He does
I
have.
pointed at him.
Dude, so what else happened in the world last week? You had the big Super Bowl. You had the Super Bowl.
Bro, can I talk about? Can I?
Please
talk-
do, please do, please do. Because I
had
can't
no.
wait for this.
I had no issues with who won the Super Bowl.
Do
So
tell.
Lee and I are managers at our place of business. We are a management team. We are a strong management team. Literally 2 days ago, Sunday evening. Yes, Sunday evening, got my performance review, stating that I was an excellent addition to the team. Very, emotional. Very like yes. The following day, we have somebody in our store who is a diehard Chiefs fan, sets up a display of affection for his Kansas City Chiefs in our store, like a small shrine to the Mahomes god. And you know what? Fine, whatever. Now, you guys could tell me, this is kind of maybe okay. Lee.
Yes, I'm here. I'm waiting for it.
Scale of 1 to 10.
Scale to 1 to 10.
Scale of 1 to 10, okay? So here's what happens. He's talking and he's running his mouth. He sees me. He has this giant turkey thing on a spring. And like he's just playing with it and it's nodding. They're laughing. They're like, hey, he sees me. Are the Rams going to win another Super Bowl? And he, does the thing. And so we have some banter back and forth. And he's like, the Rams aren't going to win another Super Bowl in your lifetime. I guarantee it. And I'm like, okay, whatever. And then I come back, and again, this is just banter at this point. I'm like, yeah, just like Kyler Murray was going to have a breakout year. I'm a football fan for anybody.
Throwing shade.
Anybody who doesn't, care about football. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. I lied to you.
Yeah, we love sports.
And we don't care who knows.
Not at all.
So I fire back because he swore Kyler Murray's going to have a breakout year. And so he was like, hey, how was your boy Reddick? Because I said Hassan Reddick was really good. And no, I did not watch the whole game. But everything I saw of that game, Hassan Reddick was in the backfield consistently. And so I said, he was in the backfield like all night, dude. He was. And then he's like, you're either delusional or you don't watch the game because you are just, and he's raising his voice.
So pause. So what part when he said delusional, was that the trigger?
That was kind of what did it.
Okay.
Because he's raising his voice, he's pointing,
Right.
and he's getting worked up. He is becoming, and so what I said to him, I said, you need to stop. You're being a toxic fan.
Right. As we all know, fan is short for fanatic.
Yes. So he turns around, and at this point, I don't even remember this part because I did start to get angry because he escalates it again. He's like, you're whatever, blah, blah, blah. And I turn around and I say, I'm serious. You need to stop or I'm going to send you home. And now I'm pointing.
Right. Now you're
now
heated. Now you're both heated. You're both heated at this point.
It's the disrespect.
Yeah.
It is the raising of the voice. It is the aggression towards me.
Yeah.
And the thing is he consistently does this. He does this all the time about stuff.
Okay.
All the time.
Okay.
I have no issues with him as a person. My issue is when he gets heated. And he gets heated sometimes at very simple things, like if a computer's not working right and he's right next to his guest and he starts calling the computer a piece of shit in earshot, or he starts saying fuck all over the place while he's waiting for an up, and then guests are coming through and they can clearly hear it.
Right.
He gets heated. And I usually let these things slide. And today I was like, you know what? Because nobody else wanted to hear what he was saying.
I mean, it was his day. I see what you're saying, right? Like, I truly understand. I mean, the Chiefs won the Super Bowl. He's a fanatic. You knew this was coming. You know, the disrespect, I understand, like, that should never happen. You know, if there was a way that you could have cooled the subject down before it got to that point, maybe kind of laugh it off.
So here's the thing.
'Cause I wasn't there.
So here's the thing. It goes on. There's one more phase of this.
Oh, another arc.
So he sits down.
That was a shout out from my
I'm
daughter.
standing next to our friend Lewis,
Yep.
other manager. Lewis heard the whole thing and later on would say, I didn't think it was that big of a deal. Gentleman turns back around, re-engages me. You can't tell me I have to go. I'll go home whenever the hell I please. You're getting blah, blah, blah. You're doing this, you're doing that. And I was like, you need to stop. I'm not putting up with it. Like,
Okay.
he re-engages with aggression.
Okay.
We were done.
Right.
We were past it. He reinitiated. I'm going to call HR, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, do it. I didn't actually say that, but like I was just like, dude.
Ladies and gentlemen, you can see how heated my man is getting right now.
It was a culmination of factors.
Right. It was a straw that broke the camel's back.
Correct.
100%.
Culmination of factors.
But back to the Super Bowl. Bruh, how about them commercials? Bruh, there was one commercial that it was like the dog was sitting in the window just looking at the family leave, going home all the time, going like to work and whatnot. Bro, that hit hard. Like, your boy had a tear in his eye, like, watching that commercial. I don't even know why. The dog just felt so sad. It was just sitting there. And it was another dog commercial where, like, the dog was like a puppy. The girl was a little girl. She grew up with the puppy, the dog,
Yes,
and
I
everything.
saw that one.
Bro, that had a tear come to my eye, too. I was like, I am getting so soft.
I'm not going to lie. I did not watch the second half of the game. I watched the tail end of the first half. I was convinced Philadelphia was going to win. You know, props to the Chiefs for pulling it off.
Facts.
But I was just so disinterested in the Super Bowl because I had no horse in the race.
Okay, right.
I was just like, you know what? Like, I was kind of rooting for the Bengals all the way through, and I was like, if they'd made it, I probably would have watched it. But I was just like, I don't know. Maybe part of me is just getting kind of burned out on football a little bit because I feel like the sport is this year of football has been especially struggling. My team did not succeed this year.
I mean, because Stafford was out the whole year.
Yeah,
so
I'm a
obviously-
Rams fan for the record.
Yeah.
So I mean,
I'm a Lions fan.
We were the defending champions.
Rookie of the year should have been Aiden Hutchinson because he had one more sack than Sauce Gardner and 9.5 more sacks than Sauce Gardner. Just saying for people that are keeping track over there.
Wait, he had one more sack and 9.5
One
more
more
sacks?
one more interception.
I was
like,
like,
what are you
wait a
talking
minute.
about? One more interception and 9.5 more sacks. Aiden Hutchinson.
Listen, I'm just saying the stats don't tell the whole story, which is why Aaron Donald is a 3-time Defensive Player of the Year, because only one of those seasons was absolutely stacked, that 20.5 sack season.
Okay.
Those other seasons are just, you look at the, like, analytics play a part in that because Aaron Donald was getting triple teamed on a
All the
scale
time.
no one has ever seen before, which is why he kept winning Defensive Player of the Year, because everybody's like, you cannot ignore the attention he draws and how he still performs the way he does.
He's the best defensive player ever to live.
So there's some analytics in that.
To a degree.
Sauce Gardner, exceptional player.
Oh, by far exceptional.
Could be the next Revis Island.
Oh my gosh. I mean, just because he's in New York, maybe.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, that's the only reason.
That's the only reason.
You know, we'll see. But that's the only reason. That's like saying, well, Aiden Hutchinson.
I mean, hey,
against
I'm just saying,
Lawrence Taylor.
Jalen Ramsey came out ferocious like that, and he's lived up to it every day of his life.
He kind of fell off last year.
But yeah,
He
that
fell
whole
off.
team fell off last year.
I mean, I don't know if they're a team full of veterans, and once veterans get that pinnacle and they're more or less on the downward swing.
I think Jalen's only 29.
Well, he's been in the league, 9 years, 8 years?
He came in young.
But he got wear and tear on them treads, so.
I still think he's still a top 5 corner.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
But I mean,
who else
like,
is there?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, is Dion still playing? Like, who knows?
I mean, right now, who are probably the top 5?
All right, so let's see.
It's definitely, Ramsey is on there.
Bruh, who would be? It'd have to be, you think Slay? You think Slay's a top 5?
He might be just on the outside edge of that.
Would you put him before Gardner?
Buffalo, Tre'Davious White.
He had an awful year. Because then he was hurt.
He had an awful year because he was hurt. Mm-hmm. But he's a top 5 talent when he's in.
I mean, I think I'd agree with that. I'm drawing blanks on corners that are like worth a damn because everything I see is just Justin Jefferson or Chase just killing every corner. I can't think of one actually.
On a healthy year, Jair Alexander.
He was all right.
Yeah,
he was all right.
A lot of corners had down years.
That's because all the rules are bent against them.
James Bradbury.
Ugh. I don't know about that one.
I think the Eagles have 2 number 1 corners.
No.
James Bradbury played at an exceptional level alongside Darius
Well,
Slay.
it's easy to when you have the best defensive front because you're only guarding for 2 seconds,
Fair.
And the Super Bowl exposed that. When you're not getting any pressure, you're getting hit everywhere but loose. It just shows the point. That's why you have to hold for the last play of the game. And no one come at me because that was a hold and it was a penalty and it should have been a flag, which it was.
He even said it.
100%.
He even said it.
100%. But I digress. Scale 1 to 10.
Okay. You never gave me my scale of 1 to 10.
What was your scale 1 to 10?
How was I the asshole? Scale of 1 to 10. Was I the asshole?
Oh man. Scale of 1 to 10. Were you the asshole? I mean, there was a lot of burden to be shared in this from what I heard. I wasn't there. So from the sides I heard and everything, I mean, I would have to say you might have been the asshole in this situation, but I truly, from someone who lives by, you're not going to disrespect me regardless, I understand that 100%. So I understand your side of it. Totally do. But it seems like, from what I heard, it was more my man being the asshole.
Damn. It hurts. It hurts my soul. Bro, I'm just so sick of him being like that. I'm just so sick of him.
I mean,
getting away with anything he does just because he's a top writer.
Just let it go. Just let it go. It's not even worth it, baby. Not even worth it.
I know. Just
Scale of 1 to 10. How bad is it if you really want to punch a homeless / mentally challenged person?
Oh God, yeah, we talked about this. Okay. There is context.
But talk around the context without vivid context.
There's gentlemen. We refer to them in our particular business as VIPs. It is a gentleman who only speaks a somewhat broken Spanish.
Spanglish.
Yeah, not even Spanglish. It's just it just doesn't get all the way there.
It's just ish.
Yeah, there's no ish. It's just span. He comes in on a daily basis. Our particular location has a cafe with free treats.
Free treats.
And he comes in every day.
Every day.
Sometimes multiple times a day. I think he was here like 3 times yesterday when we were at work. I think
he
was
needs to
there
start
like 3
paying
times.
rent. That's how many times he comes in.
Which impacts our door count, which is an important factor of our business for whatever reason. Anyway, he comes in all the time, and he is getting a little too friendly with a lot of people. He is flirting with some of the women there who do not like it. At one point, we had one girl in the office who would literally hide when he would show up because she did not want to interact with this man. Now, technically, it is not, to be clear, it is not a situation she hid as a joke because she just didn't want to talk to him. This is not a situation where he is like arrestable offense.
No,
bad.
This person is harmless,
Yes.
but he does deserve some bodily harm every so often.
And so he occasionally disrespects.
A disrespect, which I
man
understand.
Lee.
Yeah, this dude legit touched me from behind.
He comes up, he gets a little touchy-feely in a way that is not acceptable.
Yes, because, to a degree, everyone likes hands on their bodies. But not when it's a 48-year-old homeless / funky.
I don't think he's
smells
homeless.
Like garbage. Like, he smells like what I think Mars would smell like if you ever went to the planet Mars. That's what he smells like.
I don't think I've ever smelled him then. I don't usually get that close to him.
Yeah, because he doesn't touch you for some odd
Right.
reason.
I kind of chose that battle when I started, and I was like, I'm not going to be friends with this guy. I'm
that was my
going to
fault.
just be passively like accepting of him. It's not my place.
That was 100%. That's what I should have done. You live and learn, as my grandmother said.
Live and learn. I was just going to say that. Literally, I was just going to say live and learn.
That's it. That's all you can do, bro. But I feel that the scale, it should be like a 3. It should be okay to slap somebody like that.
I think on a good day, you'd be at a 7. Yesterday, you'd probably be at a 6.
You think so?
Because deep down, he doesn't understand that
I think he does. That's the spin.
So
I think he does.
There is an extent. So yes, but it has been acceptable with other people for so long that he does not have the social awareness to realize that you are not comfortable with it.
Audience, I am not the one to put hands on in a bad manner.
No, and I understand that, and I am not. I want to be clear. I'm not saying that you were wrong.
But I understand.
But we're talking about the social aspect
Yes.
of this.
Yes.
And if you were to put hands on that man,
It'd be a problem.
HR would be called.
It would be a problem that if I choked out old boy.
I mean, that dude, remember, he picked up the store manager that one time, just hugged him from behind and picked him up while the regional's walking up the stairs and sees the whole thing.
Yeah, yeah.
You know,
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is.
he does what he does, and it's until he does something, either you need to draw the line and be like, yo, if he comes in here and he's doing this, I want him to leave, which I know you're not going to do. It doesn't
Right.
bother you to that extent.
Right,
Or
right.
he needs to do something egregiously wrong that we can be like, you cannot come back here ever again.
Facts. I mean, I can live with them, but it's going to be a day. It's going to be a day where, the Lions get to the Super Bowl and they lose, and it'll be that Monday, and that person will come up to me, and he'll
You're going to have your moment where it's just like the culmination of attitudes have come together.
Yes. It's
And
the
you're like,
perfect
today is the day I put a stop to this.
Yeah, it's Mark Wahlberg, it's George Clooney, it's the perfect storm of
And then
these
you also get to explain that this was not an issue of football. This was an issue of attitude.
You like, I
and
do
I
that in
didn't
there?
do what I did because of football.
Like I threw that in there, audience. Like I threw that in there a little bit.
I did not do what I did because of football. And he did that on purpose when he mentioned the Lions. I'm not stupid.
Oh God. Oh man.
It was not because of football. I don't even care.
It was never about sports.
It was the
It's
disrespect.
never about sports, ladies and gentlemen. Never about sports.
It's just the fact that he thought he could talk to me that way.
Any type of way. Any type of way. Bruh. So, what do you think about these UFOs / balloons?
Okay, so do you want I have a logical response to this of what I think is genuinely happening.
Okay. Because I think Battle Los Angeles might be starting to happen. That'd be the best part about it.
I genuinely think what's probably happening is China is probably sending these balloons over, and they're probably trying to find gaps in our air defense. I don't think they have any plans to take advantage of it, but I
course.
think they just want to know just in case.
Just in case.
Because we do, there's no doubt they said we've done it to them 10
course.
times. I have zero doubt in my mind. Same person who we had this issue with, as a bridge.
Yes.
We had a conversation about this yesterday.
Okay.
And to put the water under the bridge, and he agrees with me wholeheartedly.
Of course.
That we have the consensus opinion that they are testing our air detection, and they want to know, can we get something in there
Just in case.
without them knowing?
Right.
And
it was pretty high.
It appears that they can in some cases. And I think the funniest part of all of this, though, is that the F-22, the most advanced fighter on the planet, I think it's first 3 now.
Yeah.
Its first 3 air-to-air kills have been balloons. But the funniest part is that the memes, it's just the Su-57, 0 balloon kills. F-22 Raptor, at least 3 balloon kills. F-22 Raptor, superior aircraft.
Without a doubt, superior.
That is such like a beautiful. Listen, I'm fully understanding that this is a piece of warfare.
Yes.
That is such a beautiful aircraft.
Very sleek.
That is such a beautiful aircraft, and the fact that it's shooting down, like,
And it took
I'm not saying
2 missiles, and it shoot 2 times to hit it.
I'm not saying that I would rather it be at war shooting people down or something. That is not what I'm saying. But the fact that it is being used to shoot down balloons.
Yes, that's where your tax money is going, ladies and gentlemen. Your F-22, something
This country
that
is
I'm pretty sure that I can hit from
dumb.
here with a 9mm.
No,
We're
40,000 feet.
F-22s.
Bullet is not going 40,000 feet.
That was exaggeration,
Okay, I
but
was just
I
making-
I appreciate that though. I appreciate that. You didn't know. It was like, wait a minute, you can shoot that high? Like, yeah, I can hit a plane up there too.
Yeah,
you know?
I'm like, show me. I'm just like, show me. I need to see this.
We'll go outside. Next podcast will be outside.
Ballistics training. Now we're on a list. The
Yeah,
NSA.
yeah, right?
The NSA is like, hey.
It'll be the shortest podcast of all
Hold on. I
time.
think the table is shifting.
Falling.
There we go. Because I noticed I was more in and I felt it kind of getting away from me. I was like, I think we're shifting.
Yeah, I think you're all right. I think you're all right.
So,
But I mean, it makes sense. I mean, China trying to get in there. I mean, like you said, we've done it. Every country does it. That's worth a damn. You know, obviously, Belarus ain't doing it, but you know, country.
I like how you just threw. We have one listener in Belarus. They're like, hey,
Yeah. Shout out to my Belarusian people.
that's not fair.
You'll be right, buddy. It's all right.
Damn. You know what's wild?
Tell
On
me.
the topic of current stupid political events, this whole Ohio thing, this whole Chernobyl in Ohio.
The whole Chernobyl, yes.
And so apparently there are misconceptions out there that this is PVC, polyvinyl
Yeah, they were
carbonate.
saying that.
It is not PVC.
I mean, were you there?
I think it's just polycarbonate. No, so they know what was on the train.
Okay, so they know exactly what was
They
on
know
the train
what was
now.
on there. And it's so much, because PVC is what we use, like my pipes downstairs are PVC.
Okay.
PVC is one of the most commonly used like plastics on the planet. It is safe. Yes, if you burn plastic, it's bad.
Right.
This is like some vinyl carbonate thing
Okay.
that is like, I think it's in like a liquid state in its
How they were
normal form.
how they were transporting it.
But the problem is how they chose to burn it, because I believe I've heard, that's the thing, is like there's so much like press suppression around this.
Yes.
That it's wild.
Yeah.
That we don't have more accurate information, but I have heard mixed things. Either it burned itself during a crash, or they did a control. I've heard they've done a controlled burn of it. The problem with this material is exposure to it is like 1 piece per million for like an hour or something,
Okay.
or 5 pieces per million for up to 15 minutes. They are
Okay.
burning so much of it. They had to evacuate the neighboring area.
Right.
Did not tell some of these people that it was a multi-day thing. Pets dead
Right.
within a multi-mile radius. The material is partially water soluble. So
Okay.
any water source it touches is now contaminated. Fish are dying. Water-based creatures are dying. This is a ecological disaster now.
Right.
And it is visible from space.
Yes. Because the pictures I saw, it was one from space. It was from some satellite that took the picture of it. And they were like, is this Ohio? I was like, I would hope you know your geography, know that's Ohio.
We have a potentially like Chernobyl-esque situation happening in our country, and the news is reporting on these balloons nonstop. Nobody's talking about Ohio.
Well, me being from Michigan, no one gives a shit about Ohio.
Yes, but
Shout out Michigan.
shout out Michigan. Bro, you know what I heard today too? Apparently at the University of Michigan, there was
Michigan
a shoot-
State. It was at
Michigan
Michigan
State. I'm
State.
sorry.
Yeah,
Michigan
Michigan
State had
State.
that shoot. There was a Sandy Hook kid there.
Shut up.
Going to school. She posted a video. She said the fact that I have had to survive 2
Right.
mass shootings.
It's crazy. It was also another kid that was from a school, which is Oxford High School in Michigan, that survived the shooting. It was at the Michigan State shooting.
But like, dude, you have these high-profile survive, and then you have a shooting in the school with that. Like,
Crazy.
Dude, I could not imagine.
Like, but there's no way to stop it. There's no way to stop any of that.
But there's ways to mitigate.
To a degree, but I mean, regardless, someone can walk in there with just a pistol that has, 6 bullets, and you're still gonna kill 6 people.
You are correct. However, there is that does not remove the need for legislation.
Facts. I 100% agree with that. Like, no one needs to have an M16 walking around.
I
for no
am
reason.
not opposed in the general respect of people having guns. I don't oppose that at a core level. I do oppose assault weapons because there is science fact. When you look at when we banned assault weapons previously,
Right.
and you look at the number of mass shootings in the country, and then you look at when that ban was lifted, the numbers go up
Well, obviously it goes
drastically.
up because at that point everybody and their mama can get a gun.
But like,
That's the whole
my
point.
neighbors
You
don't
can't-
need an AR-15.
Depending, what if your other neighbor has one? Why can't they have one?
Why do they need it? What are
Well,
they
the
doing?
whole point of there's really no point. Because
I'm not
a
talking,
bullet can kill
and I'm
a
not even
bullet,
talking
whatever.
about like rifles in general. I get it. Like people
Uh-huh.
go hunting, people do things. There is an element of self-defense, and I understand that. I think most people overestimate their need for self-defense.
Well, even with the
In
aspect,
certain areas, I know some places are different than others, and I respect that. But like the general idea of you can have a 30-round assault rifle just kind of like at your fingertips.
right? That's overkill. 100% agree. Even with the aspect of, a handgun. State of Connecticut, you're gonna have 9 bullets in it. If it takes you 9 bullets to shoot something, you don't need to have a gun in the first place. And these are the people who are having all these guns and are actually killing people. Are these ones that are untrained people that have, you hate to say it, might have a mental issue, something happened in their life, and they don't know how to control what's going on in their head, and this is how they act.
And the other side of it is, and yeah, obviously there's no sympathy for these acts.
Exactly.
But none of it is justified, but it's also like you can painfully see how it happened.
You can easily see how it can happen.
I know, and it's painful to see that it's like, of course that's why they did it. It never should have gotten to that point. But you also have these gun owners who are horrifically irresponsible that they leave these weapons accessible to people
Well, yes.
who should not have them. And that's a
Yes.
fault of the gun owner. Because a lot of
100%.
these, not all of them, but a lot of them, like the school shootings and stuff like that, it's not the parents going in there and doing it. It's the kids who got a hold of the gun.
Right. Depending. Some of the people, they've just gotten guns. Who knows where they're getting these guns? Like,
I know.
a parent might have like a handgun, and the kid will take the handgun, but the kid will also have an AR, all this other stuff.
I am not
that
disputing
got all
that they
that
could
stuff.
get these from other sources, but the gun came from somebody who never should have given it up to them.
100%. 100%. There needs to be a whole bunch of checks and balances, more than obviously what it
Especially
is.
if you're not going to ban assault weapons, there needs to be, in my opinion, 2 things. And we are hitting a lot of topics. People are going to know right away if they want to continue to listen to this show or not. We are hitting all the nails on the head. 2 things need to happen. We need easily traceable, we need to be able to pick up a gun and know who owned it, who is the owner of this weapon. We need to be able to know immediately. There should be no questions of where this gun came from.
Right. But on the other hand, it is so easy to get a ghost gun. So a ghost gun obviously is a gun that doesn't have any labels, anything of that nature is made overseas, brought over. Can't be traced. The bullets are even different.
Again, though, I don't think my neighbor is going to possess a ghost gun, generally
Just saying
speaking. But
that
no,
you
I
can't.
understand that.
Right.
That. And that's a whole other, that's illegal gun trade. That's a whole other thing.
Okay.
We're talking about legal gun trade.
Okay. So if you're looking at straight legal gun trade, you should have a tax on bullets. Because if you put a tax on bullets and you make bullets more than $10 to buy, that's going to put it down because you're going to be like, this bullet cost me $45. I ain't shooting
So
this
now
thing
it's a
for it.
3-part plan because I like that. But every gun should be able to be traceable to who. It should be easily traceable. You should be able to find it, and know within minutes, okay, this is the owner of this weapon. It should not be like, oh, we don't know how they got it. There should never be, we don't know how we got it on a legally purchased weapon.
Well,
there should be a paper trail of some kind.
You could tell who bought it, but you don't necessarily know how that person got it.
But at least, so this is part 3.
Tell me.
The owner of the gun is responsible.
Okay. What if someone breaks in the home, steals the safe? How can that person be responsible for a burglary? And then that person kills.
So that's a different scenario that has police involved.
Okay.
So at that point, you have a police report. You have evidence this gun was stolen from my property or from my premises. But that's where part 1 comes in, because now you go into the system, you go into the computer, and you say, this gun is no longer in this person's possession due to an unlawful act. Not by somebody else. But that's the point, is if you keep these systems properly checked, you have them up to date, and you can go in and be like, okay, this gun was stolen from the home during a burglary. This person is no longer responsible for what happens with that weapon.
100%. I mean, I agree with that. And that's what you're supposed to do. In theory, everything you're saying is already implemented.
But why does it feel like...
Well, I feel like it's not,
it
right?
feels like it's not. To someone like me who is disengaged from that...
Right.
It feels like every time there's just all these questions and no answers.
Right. It's because it's so hard to legislate that. Because even if you do all that, it's just so many scenarios where something can go left. Anything can happen.
I think at the very least, like, the tax is a good idea, because if you make it more expensive, you make it more likely people are going to protect that.
Right.
I do think if you're going to have people with assault weapons, at least in the case of assault weapons, the owner of the weapon, if it is not an unlawful, if it is not like a break-in scenario, if they're just like, if their kid gets their gun, goes to school, shoots up the school,
right,
the parent should be responsible for that.
Okay.
For not securing the weapon in a way that their child cannot access it, because that is their responsibility as a gun owner. It is the same thing of, like, you own a car. If your underage kid goes on a joyride, you would be responsible for that.
To a degree, yes. Yes, to a degree. You can't be responsible for everything a human does. Even though considered as under your watch, you just can't. That's just physically impossible. But I do agree with the aspect of, if your child gets your gun, there should be some type of equal burden shared on the parent.
Listen, even if you don't, maybe full responsibility is an extreme, but, like, there should be
something.
The parent is still responsible for that regardless, because it's their kid and it's their gun, right?
Right. I mean, it's also a teaching aspect, because obviously I have guns, but my kids know how to shoot guns. I've taken them shooting, so it's an aspect that you have to teach them the right ways to do these things and know it's not a toy, but they have to be able to protect themselves nowadays, because I much rather have it and not need it than need it and not have it,
And I understand
110%. But I'm not one of these NRA just like, woo, we'll keep my gun, right bear arms. I'm not.
And obviously,
that person.
I'm a little biased because I am not a gun owner. That doesn't mean you're invited into my home.
You come into my home, you ain't getting out.
I got plenty else.
100.
I got plenty else. Blunt force trauma is a hell of a thing. It's just like something needs to happen, because the amount of shooting, we are lapping the rest of the planet.
Oh, facts. I mean, Canadians leave their doors open,
but
and that's right across the river from Michigan.
But
totally different.
Just this year, we've had dozens, and we're in February.
Yep.
Something needs to happen.
But do you think it's more? I mean, people kill people, right?
Right.
Regardless if it's a knife, guns, or whatever. A gun, you can just kill multiple people. So there's
the
something
gun doesn't
wrong.
just get up and pull the trigger and end a bunch of people.
Exactly.
That's not how that works.
Like, there's something rooted in society we need to fix. Something is wrong with what we're doing as a culture that is making these people just kill these people.
Society is a whole other can of worms.
So that's the root.
I understand that.
That's the root
and that's
of the problem.
Struggle is like, society is fucked.
Facts.
Because we live, I feel like the Joker. We live in a society, you know? But it's just like so mind-blowing that like you look at how people have to live their lives nowadays, and it's like it should be easy, but like you have people fighting for pay. The federal minimum wage is $7.25. It's been that way since I was a child.
Right.
You know, you have people struggling to make ends meet, and then you have, parties in government saying like, let's just charge them 30% federal sales tax
Yeah, they'll be all right.
on everything they buy. They already can't make ends meet. Don't worry, we'll get rid of the federal tax, but you'll pay us 30% every time you buy something. And if you can't pay the tax, you can't afford it, don't buy it. It's just like, I need food.
Right.
And gas.
To get to work.
To get to the job that doesn't pay me enough.
Exactly. I mean, at a certain point, you got to realize, maybe staying at home and having an OnlyFans is probably better than going somewhere to work.
And like, I'm reading this thing earlier about, company, I keep up on video games, obviously, but Activision Blizzard,
Yep.
they are doing a like forced return to office.
Okay.
But a lot of people, because they have offices in like Santa Monica, California, stuff like that, very expensive cost of living.
Okay.
And a lot of those people, especially during the pandemic, they moved. They got further away from work because they didn't have to commute, so they could save money. They don't have the car. A lot of people got rid of their cars, stuff like that. And now it's, hey, in the next 1 to 2 months, you have to return to the office.
Right. Right.
Which is like, because they said, we need to be in an office to, breed these ideas and stuff like that. And it's like, clearly you don't, because you've been putting out stuff this entire time.
Right. Because brick and mortar, you don't need brick and mortar anymore. Everything can be done at home level. You do not need brick and mortar anymore. You don't need to go punch a clock and be somewhere from 9 to 5.
But like, it just all adds up though. And like, people are talking about like, oh, workers are soft, quiet quitting, stuff like that. And it's like, no, it's because people are getting treated like shit and like they're worth less than they are on a daily basis. They're getting told every day they're worth less than they are.
Right. Right.
But
you still got to make that company the dollar.
Exactly.
While you make a penny.
Because the company can make record profits and still lay off 5% of their workforce.
100%. 100%. It's
Those
crazy.
Those two things, that's another thing. If you're going to lay people off, there should be accountability at the top. Why are you laying these people off?
And why are you getting a bonus?
Exactly.
You're getting a bonus. But
you're getting paid how many millions of dollars? You could have paid all those people if you didn't take this bonus.
100%. 110%. You deserve a drink of water on that statement. I agree with that.
I have learned after years of podcasting, you have to stay refreshed. A little sip to keep the.
See, it's weird because I'm very moist.
Yeah,
I'm very moist right now.
Wait till you get in a marathon session. You get in a marathon session, you're gonna start to find out. I'm telling you. Maybe you're born for it. I don't know.
I don't know, man. Could be. I mean, because this mic is pretty tough right there.
I know.
I mean, how it looks, that's pretty sleek.
It's nice.
You know
I do like it. I'm a fan.
I'm 100% fan. 100%.
I told you,
bruh. I mean, easy peasy lemon squeezy.
Easy peasy lemon squeezy.
So what do you think, man?
A bevy of I did not expect us to end up like that. I did not think we were getting political today.
Not today.
Not today.
Not on the first installment.
Hey, you'll know right away. And hey, if you don't agree with something me or him said, hey, that's fine. You can like him and still listen to the show, and that's okay.
Totally.
And then you can just write angry comments about me, and that's fine because I'll yell at you.
The Thursday Friday crew is becoming social within the next 2 days, so you'll find us on Instagram, Facebook, every social media outlet. We will be up in 2 days.
Do we tell them why we're Thursday Friday crew?
I guess we can give them in on a secret. Let them in on the secret.
Because I feel like somebody's going to be like, why are they the Thursday Friday crew?
Let them know. Give them the business.
It's very simple. Lee and I are off Tuesday and Wednesday, and we work together every Thursday and Friday. Consistently. Hence, the Thursday Friday crew.
Because always remember, we always want you part of our crew. The Thursday Friday crew.
The Thursday Friday crew.
Well, I think that was good, man.
Yeah.
I think the people know kind of where we stand and what we stand
I was
for.
just looking at what that other one was. Wait, what?
So I had thought.
I was looking. I was like, I saw another scale of 1 to 10 on the paper. Lee came in with a paper. He was prepared today.
See, the rundown. I'm all about the rundown.
And I was looking at it. I was like, I don't think we talked about that. I saw it, and I was like, okay.
That might have to be the
Hold on.
next
I
one.
think
Because
this is, no, I think this is good. This is a lighthearted way.
It is a lighthearted way
to end the show. We got a little
talk
heavy.
about it. We did get a little heavy.
No, this is you. This is your
Christian.
baby. Yes.
Scale of 1 to 10.
Scale of 1 to 10.
How bad is it to return merchandise that you got from Amazon the day after you used it, just for the one purpose that you bought it for?
What is the item?
So it's a steamer.
Okay.
So, audience, I bought a steamer for $68 because your boy was sick of going to the cleaners for $80 a pop, like every 2 weeks. So I'm
That's
like,
fair.
yeah, I was like, bruh, I can do this at home. I can do this at the cut. So I ordered a steamer. The steamer's fire. Don't get me wrong. The steamer is fire, right? But what I noticed is that once I washed the clothes and I hang them up, there's no wrinkles. You know what I'm saying?
When you do it right, there's no wrinkles.
Yeah. So there was only wrinkles in like 2 shirts out of a billion. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, why don't I just return this thing? Because I really just don't need it. But those 2 shirts, it did. Mwah, magnifique.
Okay. So how are we defining 10 is...
10, 1 means it's totally acceptable. 10, hell to the no, you shouldn't do it.
1.
See, I agree.
Yeah, no, it's a 1 because
Right?
there's 2 reasons. 1, you realized, hey, you made a responsible purchase, but then realized, hey, you know what? I might have jumped the gun. I may have jumped the gun.
But it has a crease thing in it too. It's dope.
There's nothing stopping you from purchasing again in the future if you need it.
100.
The other reason being, if Amazon is going to make their return policy so good,
Amazing.
then why not use it? If you buy something and you realize I don't need this as much as I thought I did, why not return it?
See, this is
It's
the moral dilemmas I go through every day in life.
It's not like a piece of furniture,
Oh, I see what you did there. I see what you did there.
Yeah. But yeah, no, like if you
think it's okay,
if you
right?
don't need it, no, you know how much stuff I have bought, and then like, dude, I have bought screen protectors for my phone.
Yep.
And it was supposed to be compatible with my fingerprint reader, and it wasn't. So I returned the open screen protector.
Well, that makes sense because it didn't work.
But I'm saying it's open and no longer usable.
Right, but it's still. I
But
understand because that's easy because it didn't work. You know what I'm saying? This thing worked like a gem. It was a champ. You know what I'm saying? Like, your boy was like, I felt like freaking Daniel LaRusso. I was up here like, wax on, and everything. But, bruh, I'm like, nah, I really don't need it.
Yeah, and I mean, sometimes you need to use it to know.
True.
Sometimes it's when it's in your hands and you use it and you're like, hey, this is really cool. But now that I have it and I see what it is, and now that I see the way I use it, it's like I can just lay this and it'll maybe work itself out a little bit. It's not a big deal,
Right.
I could do this with a $10 iron instead of a
but I don't like iron
steamer.
because ironing always leaves the water. Like, you be ironing, then the water just drips everywhere. Bothers the hell out of me.
Fair enough.
Because for some odd reason, it's always like a rust stain at that point. Sucks ass. Like, I can't deal with that, bro. I can't. That steamer was love. But I didn't realize how wrinkle-free really kind of meant wrinkle-free for the pants. I basically bought it for the shirts. But the shirts came out fine. You hang them up.
As long as you don't let them sit in the dryer for a while.
Yeah,
you don't
and
let
I
them
don't
sit
dry
in a pile,
them.
then
And I don't dry them.
I used to not dry.
Uh-huh.
But I got tired of hanging.
Yep.
And so now I dry. And usually after the first dry, they're good because they're not
Okay.
going to keep adjusting.
Okay.
So I also upped the size on my shirts. So after the first dry, they're perfect.
Well, I mean, see, because you see that python right there.
look at that.
That python. So it's like 20-inch brother. But, like, my shirts, like, I can't do tight shirts, bro.
Right.
Like, I feel like.
You need the flexibility.
Yeah,
you can't
man,
just be restricted.
I can't. That's what skinny jeans, not for your boy.
No.
You know what I'm saying? No.
Skinny
I'm
jeans
built
aren't for
different.
many.
You know
They're
what I'm
not
saying?
built for many people.
I'm not.
You're either a skinny jean person or you're the majority of everybody else.
100%. Like skinny jeans. And I hate when people are sagging skinny jeans. It just bothers the hell out of me. I'm like, what are you doing?
That is not what those are for.
Like, make up your mind. Make up your mind.
You're either fit or you're not.
Right? This European cut, whatever, man. Boot cut. I'm tired of these cuts. Just give me my baggy old school stuff.
Just like a nice, comfortable pair of jeans.
100.
That's all I need.
Yeah. I legit only have like 2 pair of jeans that I rock because they're the most
all you
comfortable.
need, though.
Yeah. And I have like 8, and then I have like 3 khakis, but I only rock 1 khaki because it's amazing fit.
That's what ever since I used to buy the cheaper khakis, and then they gradually go out. I started buying them like once a year from the Gap, like Black Friday.
Yep.
I'll get them when they're 50% off. I'll get like 3 pairs.
Yeah.
More recently, those things last though. So
They
like
do,
the
bruh.
first time I bought like 3 pairs, the second time I bought like 3 pairs. I've worn like 2 of them out.
Yep.
But I still got like 4 pairs, and I just cycle through. I get them all the same color because I don't care, because khaki goes with everything.
Right. 100%.
And so I just have one color, and I don't care, and I change the polo every day.
Yeah.
Gap polos, not good. Would never buy them again.
See, you ever been to K&G? K&G is a great store, bruh.
I used to work at Joseph A. Bank,
Oh,
which is similar.
Look at this
Similar.
guy. That ain't similar. Those things expensive, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
well, I mean,
that's
like,
not
but
K&G.
they're suit stores.
Oh, yes. Well, to a degree.
Yeah. Okay.
'Cause-
I mean, I'm just
yeah,
saying.
I'm about to say, because
Listen,
that's
I'm
a
not-
whole different ballgame.
I'm at the higher end
Yes,
of the
you are.
same concept.
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's like you being the Mahomes versus Kyler Murray. That's how different of the scale that would
K&G
be.
is Kyler Murray.
To that, in those two realms,
Fair enough.
I would
Fair
say.
enough.
I can't think of anything that's worse than K&G. JC Penney's or something? I don't know.
Probably. I don't know.
I think it's been like 10 years since
I
I've been
think
in JC
K&G
Penney's.
is okay. Like,
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
like,
I buy
yeah.
mad stuff from K&G. I don't think
try their polos.
I don't think I bought anything from JC Penney since the Farfanugan card stopped being
don't-
made in Germany.
I don't even know who still shops at JCPenney.
Is it still open?
Yeah. They're the one who survived. That's the crazy
Sears,
thing.
all of them are gone, right? Sears
Sears
is gone?
died. Macy's is hanging on. And then like JCPenney is just, nobody talks about it because like I guess they're just doing fine.
Bruh, like who goes to malls anymore? My daughter. I think my daughter went to a mall.
She's over there nodding. No, she's nodding.
Daughter, come here for a second. We're gonna get the kid,
Our
the youth,
producer.
our producer Asia. Daughter, tell me what kids do at the mall nowadays.
Oh my god, we love them all. You get some Auntie Anne's. Auntie Anne's is the best.
What
agree.
is?
I do
what
agree.
the hell is Auntie Anne's?
The pretzels.
There's a pretzel.
The
place
pretzel
called Auntie
place,
Anne's?
We have pretzel
I've
maker
never had
at
that.
we go
Pretzel
to
maker
the
is better
pretzel
because
maker.
you can get the little bites with the
Yeah.
mozzarella cheese inside.
Yeah.
What are y'all
I
talking
spent like
about?
$40 on a pretzel box thing for my friends. We just shared it. We just walk around the mall. You don't have to buy anything. You
No,
just
it's-
walk.
You always got to get pretzels at the
Always
mall.
gotta get pretzels.
You get the soft pretzels. Auntie Anne's, there's Pretzel Maker,
really
and then there's
something-
Wetzel Pretzel.
There's really something wrong with both of y'all.
Wetzel pretzel.
There's something wrong with both of y'all.
Or
knowing there's
if you're
like
at a
8
good
different
enough mall,
pretzel
if you're at a
spots.
good enough mall, there's a Cinnabon.
Ooh.
I don't think there's good. No, not in the Meriden Mall. There's no.
Nope.
Yeah.
West Farms has one.
Wait,
Buckland might have one again in Manchester, but
Manchester does.
yeah, I think they might have one again.
Ugh.
I know they got an Auntie Anne's there, but I
I'm gonna have to
know
hit up this
West
Auntie
Farm.
Anne's.
West Farm has the pretzel maker though, because I used to order that when I worked in Southington, and they would
So
DoorDash it.
do you make your own pretzel at the
No,
pretzel
they-
maker?
No. So they
It's
make
like-
it,
it's
but
like
they-
Build-A-Bear?
They make them on site. They bake them on site, and like they're fresh. They keep
get
them
the
under the
pretzel.
hot lamp, and then you get your nice soft pretzels.
Look
And
at y'all guys, pretzel connoisseurs
Pretzels
in
are
here.
good.
you get the pretzel. I'm telling you, you get the pretzel maker, you get the cup, and I always got the ones with the stuffed mozzarella cheese, and they were delicious.
See, I don't like mozzarella cheese.
You know, that's okay. You
I
get
don't-
regular pretzel bites, but I like mozzarella cheese, and
I
that
can
was a
dig it.
delicious snack.
It makes sense. I mean, I can ride with y'all. on that,
Especially when they were like, when you could tell they were fresh, and like you get the melty cheese pull. When you get the cheese pull, that's how you know that they were
That you know
prepared to perfection.
That is mwah,
Exactly.
magnifique, magnifique.
That is some pretzel maker.
That is. I think that was a good day. That
Yes.
was a good day. So shout out to the 4 lifers. That's the clique, the daughter's clique. So give the 4 lifers shout outs. They rep the Thursday night crew, so got to give them some shout outs, some love. Anyone you give some shout outs to?
Shout out to the people from work who actually listen to this.
No doubt.
What happens on the podcast stays on the podcast.
No doubt. No doubt. But we do look forward. We appreciate you guys listening to us. You know, it is a Thursday, Friday crew. But remember, you can always be part of our crew any day.
Any day of the week can be Thursday, Friday.
Facts.
You just got to listen.
Facts.
We should be on more places as the weeks go on, as this episode goes up. Right now, we should be on Spotify. Over the coming weeks, we should end up hopefully on like Google, on Apple Podcasts, so you can listen wherever you enjoy podcasts. You can always listen on anchor.fm. I'll have a custom link hopefully soon once it lets me do that when we put the first episode up. And, you know, we appreciate everybody who listens.
Yep,
And,
much love.
comes out and shows some love.
We'll be here. Deuces.
Catch you on the next one.
Flip.